Hello my little sugar boogers, welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing a revamp on the Sims 3 Pets house. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I've been talking about how I wanted to convert their old little farmhouse into something a little more red and white picket fence-esque. I definitely had a lot of fun doing this revamp, and as you guys can see, it definitely took a pretty large amount of time, and the reason why is because the complexity of being able to customize anything and everything in The Sims 3 is so in depth. It takes forever to accomplish what you're trying to, but the end result, in my personal opinion, I feel fits exactly what I had envisioned and have even envisioned in some of my Sims 4 builds, but never was able to exile because damn, execute, close enough, because of the fact that we just don't have all these different customizability features. However, when doing this, I did notice I did have a lot of lag and things of that sort, so you kind of give and take just a little bit. But let me tell you guys, it was like stepping back in a time machine, and it kind of took me back to the to the Sims 3 seasons era, where we used to revamp all the houses and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of crazy to me that in so many ways I really did enjoy doing this revamp of the farmhouse. And as you guys can see, it may not necessarily fit the family aesthetic to 100%. It definitely fits to what I was trying to accomplish. I absolutely am in love with the way that this build ended up coming together in the end. I feel like all the furnishings, I feel like the decorations, the flooring, everything just matches in one room, kind of flows very like seamlessly to another, and they all just kind of work as this one big space. And I really love the way that it ended up, and I am just so proud. I was kind of nervous. I was sweating a little bit. Definitely had to reapply the deodorant a couple freaking times. So the only thing that we really did change primarily is obviously the outside structure. We did an overhaul of it. It no longer even looks like the old build at all. It was very dinky, raggedy. It obviously was a pretty old farmhouse just to be kind of sitting on this little plot of land. Hasn't had any TLC in quite a while, and let it be known, it was very apparent. I wanted to go with the red and the bright white fixtures and all that kind of stuff because I felt like that really was what I was trying to go for in the first place, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun. I don't think I've ever really built a traditional like red farmhouse. And then what else did we edit? We added a couple porches, things of that sort, a little few places to lounge where the puppies can kind of relax and all that kind of stuff. I'm like getting like out of breath right now, like little, what is it, like when you fall from something, the wind knocked out of you. That's kind of what's happening right now, just a little bit. And then what else did I do? What else? I also kind of changed the the little garden area. You can't see it now, you'll see it later, but I ended up putting a white picket fence around that, and then also getting that scarecrow in there, which I was so excited about. But I was surprised at myself how relatively easy it was to go ahead and create this build, and again, just kind of, execute what I was initially planning. Is there anything in particular that I miss about The Sims 3 when it comes to the Sims 4? I think that the fact that I feel like when I'm playing this game that I am a part of a world, and I think Lazy Game Reviews nailed it perfectly. It feels like when in The Sims 3 you are a part of the world. The world around you is changing. People are moving. People are having children. The children are growing up, and everything's just kind of constantly evolving. I feel like in The Sims 4 there is a certain aspect to that, but I feel like the way that the neighborhoods are set up and stuff, I feel like that kind of really how do you say, like, kind of isolates it a little bit. I feel like if even the neighborhoods, right, were just completely open and you could walk up to a house and be able to go inside and not have a loading screen, I think that would really help open up the game a little bit. Just that little bit. Just being able to go up to your neighbor's house and not have a loading screen would be really, 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 really efficient. Because you can do that in The Sims 3, but then again, you wouldn't have all that, I guess, heavy graphics, jazz that would really like boggle down the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be maybe too graphic intensive, but it might be a little bit. And maybe there would be something where you could cue that on and off, like in your settings where, you could either select to have an open neighborhood or a closed neighborhood. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Anyway, I'm barely making sense to myself, but I think I kind of got my point across. Granted, I have no idea how hard that would even be to like do something like that, but I do think that would really help with at least kind of semi opening up the world a little bit. Definitely wasn't too fixated or focused on creating a space where there was a TV involved. I feel like these Sims don't honestly really ever sit down to watch TV, and if they do, we could probably put it in a little bit later. And I do know that Cornell ends up getting his own little TV eventually, and I love, 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 love. Okay, I'm living for the living room. It's so freaking amazing. It has like this old country feel to it. I love that the woods and the textures and all that kind of jazz just really play nicely together. I love that when you walk in through the door, you're immediately greeted by this beautiful stone fireplace, and there is just so much to like look at. I do add in more decorations and stuff like that a little bit later on, but as you guys can see, I'm kind of illuminating the place. I did realize later that was the savvy seller rug, apparently. I don't know. I really like it. So if it doesn't, affect my gameplay at all, I'm going to leave it there, even though it's technically a rug for you to go ahead and sell some things on. As you guys can see, we definitely kept Turt Reynolds. We also kept Calvin's treasure chest that he obtained in Simla, China. I put in these really big, beautiful freaking curtains. They are so elegant, maybe too elegant for this house, in fact, but I really, really loved them, so I put those in there. And then here we are finally working on the kitchen. This kitchen is also a really fun place, and I really loved and enjoyed building. It's very small, quaint, but I feel like everything and anything that we would need to have a functioning kitchen fits perfectly in this tiny little nook. One of the things I struggle with, and I say this in every single build, speed build, renovation, anything that has to do with going in build by mode, I literally suck, okay? Big cojones when it comes to figuring out layouts, and I'm really surprised in a game I haven't done this in like 2 years with. I did pretty good, so I'm totally polishing my stone, as I would put it. And I decided to definitely pull a little Joanne. If you don't know what I'm talking about, boo, you would definitely sleeping under the rocks, and put in a island that Cornell and Elle can just kind of huddle around. Hold on a second. We've got a phone call from my mother. Hello?
Hey, I'm sorry. I just want to ask you, what time you plan on going tomorrow morning?
Hey, well, I'm going at 9:15 in the morning.
Oh, okay. Well, because my sister thinks she's asking me about coming out there.
Okay, Ma, I'm letting you know. I'm recording a video right now, so anything that you say.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right,
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You guys totally. That's my mother. She is just a sassy little frass. If you guys have I would really love for me to at least once do a vlog where you guys were able to meet my mom. My mom is a fire freaking cracker. And if you ever wondered where Jennifer gets her sass, her frass, her moments of brattiness, I definitely get it from my mom. Not that my mom's a brat or anything. She just has a lot of personality. So it's just really funny. I have to tell her you're on YouTube right now. You got to be careful what you say. So yeah, I have an appointment 9:15. You heard that, didn't you? Gosh, she's always spilling the tea. Always spilling the tea, that Mama June. That's my mom's name. We call her Junebug or Hey June. It's actually Hey Jude, isn't it? The Beatles? I don't know. Anyway, going back to the build, we are going and working on Mr. Calvin's room. I wanted this place to just reek masculinity. I wanted it to be dark, powerful, contrasting. Probably like, why are all the freaking walls the same damn color? Because I like it. I don't know what kind of house you guys live in. I don't know where you've lived in. I honestly don't know much about your lives. But I know that where all the places I've grown up in, I've never had different colored walls. And for some reason, for me, I think that if I ever had a house where I had to build it, I wouldn't have different colored walls. I would have maybe some texture on some of those walls, but I would never have a blue wall here, a green wall here, and then like some sort of like fuchsia mix, you know, in the equation. It, to me, just, I don't know what it is. Like, I've noticed as I've gotten, you know, older and I'm like finding myself more, there's a lot of things that irk me, like patterns. I don't know if you guys are like that. Like, I have a comforter, and maybe you guys have seen it, I don't really know, but I have a comforter in my room, and there's like one side that kind of has like this very, there's a word for it, but I can't actually think of it at the top of my head. It has like a pattern. It's kind of Victorian looking, not really, but there's like a distinctive name, and I can't exactly quite put my finger on it. And I remember I looked at it and I loved it, and then I put it on my bed, and I kid you not, like when I say it gave me anxiety, that is no low like bawling statement. I genuinely know what that feels like, and I genuinely was experiencing it over a freaking bed comforter. Like, it was making me feel like really heavy and breathy and just weird. So I had to flip it over to all black, because for some reason color or patterns or anything just really messes with my brain. I don't know, I'm so strange. But as you guys can see, there are two bathrooms in the house. We ended up getting rid of another bathroom because I wanted to end up and it's the one right by Elle's room, so we're working on her room right now, and you guys can see it. I was originally going to put that as a bathroom for Elle, so she has like her own little digs, her own little quarter, and maybe we will, maybe later on. But I really felt like we needed a office space. Now, I could have done it with upstairs because there's just a lot of space as you come up from the stairs, but I decided, you know what, I just wanted to go ahead and kind of tuck it away and, you know, have like a computer room. I even ended up moving Elle's easel into that room. Turt got a brand new color palette on his little terrarium there. I love that turtle so freaking much. I'm surprised he's still alive. Like, I remember when in the Sims 3 Legacy Challenge, we, not with the Springstons, but with the Trevino family, we ended up, didn't we like lose Humberto and he was like in the basement or something? I don't remember what happened, but it was pretty messed up. We didn't have him for very long. And then we ended up losing him in the basement. And then one of our cats ended up killing him. Am I right? I can't remember. But you guys, I swear to you, we put that poor little turtle through torture. And I'm going to be real. Turt has lived such a blissful, happy little turtle life that he will never, ever, 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 ever have to go without or experience anything that his ancestors have, subsequently been subjected to in my LPs. But this room here is kind of giving me a 70s vibe, but it is Cornell's room. And I felt like having the kids' room upstairs and having Calvin's room placed downstairs, it just made a little more sense to me. And I'm going to give him a TV too, because I feel like that would be really fun and he would enjoy that. And him and Elle can like play some video games. I don't know if you need chairs in The Sims 3. I don't really remember. So if we do, we'll have to add in those a little bit later on. But as you can see, he has a very like teenage color palette, but it's still maintaining the aesthetic of the rest of the little farmhouse. We're adding in a rug. I really am seriously taking high advantage of the customizability. And that is again why this revamp has taken us so freaking long. But believe it or not, we are almost to the end. I am going in and putting in some cheaper fixtures and things of that sort, appliances, plumbing, whatever you want to call it, just because as you guys can see, our simoleons are starting to dwindle down. At first, I was just going to like recycle all of our previous like furnishings, but I kind of wanted to start over fresh because I felt like this family really deserved it. We all know that they've been through a lot, especially with their parents all dying prematurely. If you guys don't follow this LP, then you probably don't know that. Cornell, Elle are the brother and sister of Calvin, who basically stepped up to the plate when his mother and father died in a tractor accident, which was on the previous farm. So since then, with all the money and inheritance and whatnot, Calvin actually ended up buying this plot of land down and deeper into Appaloosa Plains, and now they are raising Calvin or Cornell. I gotta get their names always mixed up. Cornell and Elle, who are about to be adults, and they are basically living the farm life. We can't forget Elle's snow cone machine, because Lord knows she'd end up beating the living poo-poo out of somebody. I really think that that's just a staple. She loves that thing. And we have a lot of like artifact stuff. We have a lot of little things that come from different parts of the world. That's just something I feel like Calvin has always liked. He's always been in love with culture, and I feel like if he had the ability, he would be traveling every freaking like month, because he loves to sightsee. He loves to do that. He loves to, basically learn about different different peepers. He likes to learn about different peepers. That word in general cracks me the hell up. Peepers, like little peepers, silent creeper. Oh my god. Or like when my husband says church house creeper. Do you guys know what that is? Oh my god, like when you fought, but it's like silent. It's one of those, what is it, a silent but deadly kind of scenarios. And then he goes, was that a church house creeper? Or church mouse creeper. Isn't it? Oh god, I'm screwing it up. Whatever, one of those things. It's really funny. And I finally found, you guys, I'm so freaking excited. I can't even hide it. Finally found our scarecrow. So the final touches that we are doing to our house is we are kind of giving the outside just a little revamp, because I know that adding in a fence for some reason isn't really a possible thing. It just like clashes with the columns or the posts. So I have to go in and fix those. I ended up moving the chicken coops underneath the tree. We put the bees by the house, which is like, seriously, I don't know what I was thinking, but we decided to do that. Put a couple lamps and lanterns underneath the porch just to illuminate it a little bit. Moved our pumpkins to the front, which we carved in the previous part. And I also put like shovels and all different types of like, outdoorsy tools in the back just to make it look like it's a farm. If you guys have any tips or tricks or anything that you think I need to include onto the farm to make it look more farm-esque, definitely leave those suggestions in the comments down below where the sun doesn't shine. And I think we are almost done. So with that, I will go ahead and see you all next time. And I thought I was going to burp, so I had to say it kind of slow because Lord knows I would blow you away. All right, guys, I love you all so much. Thank you so freaking much for watching and sticking with me through the entire renovation. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.